welcome to this groundbreaking ceremony for the Riviera Beach Heights Community Center. I think we should just give that a round of applause. I would like to invite the mayor to bring a brief welcome. I know that he has other engagements that he needs to attend to, so we want to give him an opportunity to greet you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Pro Tem. Giving honor to God and to the residents of the neighborhood. It's always, also I see former Councilman Cedric Thomas. It's always a pleasure for me to welcome and to bring greetings. I always have problems welcoming folk to their own neighborhood and your own block. This is your block. It is your neighborhood. And I'm delighted to be the mayor to see something that was started with the people speaking up and standing up and saying, we want something on our side, or something on our town. And I'm delighted that Councilman Thomas was persistent to get some funding, and he didn't back down. And I'm also excited that Councilwoman newly elected at that time, Tanya Davis Johnson, carried the torch and made it happen. Give her a hand. So Councilman Thomas Davis Johnson is correct. I'm right out of here in a few minutes back to Stony Brook. I've been up all night long, so if I look sleepy, I am. I even slept in Lindsay Davis with residents last night just to give them a sense of comfort. So I'm very tired, very sleepy, but I got to go back because duty calls. But you are welcome. In the church, we used to say welcome once, welcome twice, welcome thrice, and all that. But it's good that you're here. I'm looking forward to the construction, the building of this, and I will be here with you. Our children need a haven like this. Our seniors need a haven like this. So I'm thankful. Thank all the residents we're your elected officials, we're your voices, but you really made it happen. Give the neighbors a big hand. Thank you very much. God bless you and keep you in perfect peace.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before he has to get out of here, I wanted to recognize the staff of Parks and Recreation for their support to this event. Mr. Blankenship, your coordination and your team efforts are so valued and appreciated, and we thank you so much for all that you do for the South Side. I'd like to bring up our city manager, Mr. Jonathan Evans, to give him an opportunity to welcome you and to bring you greetings on behalf of the city manager's office. Let's welcome Mr. Evans.
Good morning. It's such a great opportunity to be here to talk about the progress that this community is making. And I think it's a testament to the shovels that are behind me. But more importantly, if you can see the small shovels, it shows this community's commitment to its young folks. And it shows that we're going to build this together. Staff, elected officials, senior citizens, and young people are going to make this facility what it needs to be. And that's a safe haven for all those that visit these facilities. And I want to take an opportunity to thank all the elected officials that have served previous as well as that serve now, because I can tell you that it is a challenging job, but they do it because of selfless public service. And the same thing with your city employees, from your public works department to your police department to your fire department. Everyone is committed to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And so we want to thank you for the opportunity to share this moment with you and to make this facility a beacon here in our community. And one of the important things when you look at the word community, it's common in unity. And we're all here because we are here united to see this facility come out of the ground and be a place where we can call home, that young people can grow and have a good time, that our senior citizens can come and play cards and dominoes, and the city manager as well. But we look forward to sharing these special moments with you and breaking more ground. And I can tell you that Councilwoman Davis Johnson was very adamant to making sure that this project came to life. And that's one of the first conversations that we had as Mr. City Manager. This is going to happen, right? And I said, absolutely, it's going to happen. If we've got to get out here in the evening and build it ourselves, this facility is coming out of the ground. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for being here and celebrating this moment with us. And I can't wait till we cut the ribbons of the doors and open this facility for years to come. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for your leadership, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Councilwoman Pardo, if you would please come forward and bring a welcome and greeting for our guests. Let's welcome Councilwoman Pardo.
Thank you, Council Pro Tem. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, wait. Well, you know, I've been up since 5 a.m. I have a sick dog. So it feels like afternoon to me. But anyway, good morning to everyone, and thank you all for coming out. This is a very special day for all of us. And I just want to, I have to tell you how I got involved in this. I went to a event over at George Street Park several years ago, and Miss Dawson was there and some of the other mothers, and we sat on a bench and we watched a vacant house across the street. The vacant house had drug dealers in it, and we watched these people come up and buy drugs and go away, and we watched it for a good hour or so. And the women explained to me what they do over there and how they needed a safe haven for the children, and how they needed a center where they could feed the children, where they could sit and do homework with the kids, do arts and crafts. And I then reached out to the assistant city manager, Danny Jones. And as most of you know, I was trying to convince the city to buy that house and convert the house. And then you all went to Mr. Thomas and said, Mr. Thomas, the house is good, but we need something better. And then Mr. Thomas took it over, along with the assistant city manager, Danny Jones. Danny was, a big piece of this, and I'm a little disappointed that he's not here today. Yeah. He was the guy that really made it happen. So with that, I am, it's a pleasure to be here. I cannot wait to cut the ribbon. It's going to be fantastic. And when we, try to decide what the name is going to be, it needs to be something that, something about the women in this community, the senior women in this community who have taken these children, and these children have become their children. So with that, again, thank you. I am so excited to be here just as you are.
Thank you, Councilwoman Pardo. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask former Councilman Cedric Thomas to come up. I don't think that we would be remiss if not allowing him to share with us today, because this was the vision, and we are so happy to carry it through.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? This has been one of those weeks. I could have found a hat that better coordinates with my attire today, but over the past 2 days, I've had the opportunity to drop my daughter off at the Florida A&M University. And she's a part of the Marching 100. And as I was watching that first performance of her, those of you that are on Facebook with me, I've been flooding with all those performances, and I was debating. I said, man, they're going to take the field later on today with all of the upperclassmen, but I could not miss this ceremony today. So I left my daughter up there for the first time. So I'm still dealing with those emotions. Of course, my wife is in the back. You can only guess how she's feeling at the time and right now. And but this is something amazing that went on. And I just want to say that these so often politics get caught up in progress, and on this project it didn't. Um, when I left office and a very capable individual came back into office, Councilwoman Davis Johnson, it was never a hiccup. It was never a political issue. She immediately picked this up and continued to move it forward because she knew how important it was. She's always talked with me along the way. She's always made it sure that it was seamless. But it's so many people that went into getting this here. I must thank former City Manager Ruth Jones. I must thank Assistant City Manager Danny Jones. All of the staff that took this and kept it going. But most of all, Councilwoman Davis Johnson and the new city manager who didn't find it robbery to continue to make sure this project stayed on track. So let me thank Mr. Evans and let me thank Councilwoman Davis Johnson. But I do want to thank, and also you, Mayor, but I do want to thank Councilwoman Pardo and former Councilman Bruce Guyton. As you know, when we're deciding in budget how this money is adding up, and I don't care what project you have, you never have enough money. Those two individuals were the first to say, hey, look, our district needs some things too, but we understand the neglect that went on in District 3, and they, Councilwoman Pardo and Councilman Guyton, were the first ones to give money out of their allotted budget. So can we please give them a hand for seeding that? So thank them. And finally, I want to thank all of you, the concerned mothers, the Southside Coalition, you know, Miss Matthews, Miss Dawson, everybody who just kept it going, showing up to meetings, staying late. When it get pushed to another meeting, you still came back, making sure that you stayed there, making sure that you held everybody's feet to the fire. That is exactly, how this is supposed to be done. So I want to let everyone know right now that I'm extremely proud of Councilwoman Davis Johnson. I'm the first person that will be signing an endorsement card for her re-election. I've already told her that. I'm the first person that will be doing that because I appreciate, what she's been able to do and finding it not robbery to make me a part of this. So thank you, Councilwoman Davis Johnson, and thank you. I appreciate it, and I still feel the love. God bless.
Thank you, former Councilman Thomas. I'd also like to take this opportunity to bring up former Councilman Bruce Guyton to bring some very brief comments to you, because as Mr. Thomas indicated, Mr. Guyton contributed dollars from his sector plan to support this venture. So let's give him a round of applause as he comes forward.
Thank you, Vice Chair Tanya Davis Johnson. Let me first congratulate you all for doing the work to make this happen. Give yourselves a hand. When we were in budget session, there was discussion about how we were going to bring the funds together. And some of my colleagues were hesitant, understandably so, and didn't want to release any of their funds. But I quickly, happily supported this effort because I know that it's needed. And my first home was at 733 George Street. I left St. Mary's Hospital and came right into this community. And that is where my life started. So I have a connection to the South End. I'm glad that this center is going to be here, and I'm still working to make sure that our community grow and prosper. And congratulations. Oh, I forgot. I would like to thank staff, all of those who worked hard Danny Jones, Ruth Jones, those staff members that put all their effort into making this happen. We cannot forget the good work that they've done. And I'd like to thank all of them that put in that work to make sure that we got to this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Guyton. So, I can tell you, I was going back through my photo roll on my phone, and I found I found photos of the meeting that was held December 8th, 2015. And it was the rollout of the center. It talked about what role it was going to play in the community. He had plans there. I actually have copies of the plans of the different pieces of the puzzle, I'll say. And it's wonderful to be here now, coming from December 2015 to August 2017. And so we are looking forward to this wonderful facility. We are excited about what it will mean to our community. We are excited to be able to have a safe haven for our children, as well as a facility that will meet the needs of the senior community for which it's going to serve. I want to acknowledge our chairwoman, Kashamba Miller Anderson. I'd like for you to come up and bring a few words.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here this morning. I actually had to go by my first job, being that school starts on Monday, so I had to apologize for coming late. We did have our orientation this morning, so I had to quickly change clothes and change my uniform and switch over to here. But I wanted to make sure I stopped by for a few minutes just to say that I know Ms. Davis Johnson, as everyone has already stated, is that she's been working really hard to make sure that this particular project continues to go through. And I've been total in support of this. And I do want to thank the mothers who have really been just a godsend in this area. And just let you know that, I hope you understand that this is for you and this is why it is being supported, because we do believe in the work that you're putting in. And we're so thankful for what you're doing, because you're filling in a gap that needs to be filled. And I just want to say that once it's open, we will do everything that we can to make sure that you have everything that you need while you're here. Because of course, as you know, making sure that our kids are safe and have a place to go to eat, whatever it is that they need, we want to make sure that they do well, and so they're able to do well while they're in school. So I just want to say hello, and I'm glad to see everyone out here, and I appreciate everything that all of you have done. Thank you.
Thank you. So, if you would, the members of Concerned Mothers, would you please stand so that we can recognize all of the efforts that you pour into our community? These women, these mothers, I know it's a little warm out here, huh? But these women commit so much of their time to the children of this community, and we are so grateful for your continued support, your selflessness, and just your generosity and kindness. And so we really appreciate you, and we recognize and honor you today. Thank you. And then I'd also like for the members of the Southside Coalition, if you are here, that's probably some of the others, but a few of the men can now stand. Thank you all so much for the work that you do on this end. We appreciate it, and we look forward to making the South End an even greater part of our community.